mature skin and looking at applying concealer and what works for you. What works for me might not work for you, but I'm going to show you what I've been doing and what I'm really happy with, what looks good for me in daylight. You know, the ultimate test is freaking daylight. These are my tools. I'm going to use a Krystelle K12. This is beautiful. The fibers matter. They really do. They make a difference, and these are superb. This fits right where I want it to fit on my face. I have a Raine Allure towel. This already has makeup on it because this is what I use to clean my brushes in between applying makeup. The products I'm going to use today are the Colleen Rothschild, and I'm going to show you how I apply her, and the Double Wear Estée Lauder. Some people love her, some people hate her. I work well with her. If I'm not using her, then I've got Maxine's Revenge out. Today we're going to use her. Your eyes should be prepped already. So you should have already put on your eye patches, drink your coffee, something with caffeine in it that's going to wake up these eyes and help depuff these eye bags. And you need a moisturizer there, and you need a sunscreen, because anything we're doing to our face, just throw it out the window if we're not putting on sunscreen, waiting at least 15 minutes before we put anything else on our face. Now let's start with the Colleen Rothschild. Look at this as a prep. This is prepping the eye. It's not a color corrector. It's not doing the other thing. Like, if you need a color corrector, I don't have dark circles under my eyes. If you do, then you want to get a concealer that's a color corrector that you're going to apply first before you put your skin tone concealer on. Did that make sense? Now I'm just tapping this in. I get into this corner. It has a luminosity to it that is just beautiful. And I find when I use this before I put on my concealer lays better. And I like to do this step with my finger. Now I'm going to get into this corner, and I'm going to tap this all the way underneath my eyes on both sides. Now, when I do my concealer, I'm going to use a brush, and I like to tap some in right here. And then I come into my eye bag. I can see where my eye bag is, and that's where I'm not going up underneath the eye. Sometimes I lift it on this side because when I put on eyeshadow, which I would have normally done before now, then this kind of just cleans up that whole eye look. And sometimes I tap a little bit right here. And if I were underpainting right now, I would also do a line right here to brighten up the middle of my nose. Right now we're just talking about eyes. Now I'm going to take the brush and I'm going to go into this corner, and I'm just going to tap. I'm not going to swipe, I'm going to tap. That's just what works better for me. I like to bring it down right here on the side of my nose, and then I'm going to tap into this eye bag. Being careful not to get the product all the way on this eye line. Your makeup, your eyeshadow, whatever you're putting there is putting on a bottom layer of mascara on your bottom lid is going to help cover that, and you just don't want to be too close to your eye. And we're going to tap and tap and tap until that is all really blended and seamless. Over here, do the same thing. I have absolutely no makeup on my face but what you just saw me apply. Normally, I would underpaint and do my contour, bronzer, blush before this step. And this step really just cleans up everything else. And then last step, before I do any kind of powders, would be my foundation, which is usually a skin tint. This livens my eyes up. And I made a mistake when I first started putting on concealer, and I was going too light. I wanted the light, bright color. I saw these youngins doing like the light box right here that looked almost white, and then everything else was bronzed. And that looks really good on a 20-year-old's face. But for me, getting a color that was more like my color really blends that into a look that's not highlighting all the impurities of my age. Wrinkles, puffiness, sagging, all the shit. We're not highlighting that any of the texture or wrinkles under our eye. We are just smoothing it out just a little bit. Now when you set with powder, I was using a powder puff. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm using a really loose brush, and I would do that once I put on my foundation, and I wouldn't get it up into the danger zone. She's kind of scary. with powder. I hope this helped.